Hello Internet, this is Farrell, and we're back here on Zombiecraft, and well, I've got a little bit of a problem because, server's been updated to 112. The good news is that the mods did put together a little bit of a spot where you could go over, hit a button, and hit a command block that basically gave you all the recipes. So I'm not dealing with a million and one toast pop-ups every time I pick up something in the world. Thank you, sincerely thank you to the mods for doing that, because that is so time distracting and annoying and everything, but unfortunately it's also had a little bit of an impact on Hill Valley here. I mean, I like that the grass is now a little more vibrant green out here. I really can't complain about that, but the clay, which was nice and muted on all the buildings, is now not so muted because of the saturation. I mean, even the regular in the ground clay seems like it's gotten a little bit of a tweak. And it's kind of throwing me a little off my game looking at this now. It just, I mean, it hasn't ruined it, but it's just... I don't understand why Mojang had to change the brightness of the clay when they were already adding the hyper-saturated concrete dust and concrete to the game, but it is what it is, and fortunately I don't believe I really used clay. Oh dear God, I can think of somewhere I did use clay. I'm almost afraid of what has happened to some of the movie sets down here. Not so much the Wild West set. I mean, it's a little excessively colorful back behind there in my opinion, but I know the Get Lucky set here. I mean, the wool there is, yeah, I can live with that, but okay, nope, it's still, the orange still somewhat closely matches the color there, so it doesn't look too bad. I guess that kind of works. Anyways, yeah, just, I don't know if that was, plus all that stuff that happened downstairs under my base. Who knows what the heck happened down there? Maybe it was tied to the 112 update. I don't know. I shouldn't have any problems over here at the sign, because none of that was using the vibrant colors that have been introduced. There's nothing inside that place over there that's using them. So I think we're pretty good over here. Oh, I did want to, I should actually show you guys, because I didn't actually show any of this on camera, and I kind of realized that I've left you a little bit in the lurch here. So the whole Get Lucky mystery, the idea was you're supposed to chase down the killer, and of course there's a trail of blood that you can happen to see heading out in this general direction. And sure enough, you follow the trail long enough, you're gonna go on a little bit of adventure. And it's not really, I'll be honest, this is one of those ones that you kind of feel like you phoned it in after you got it all done. And if I'd really been, also you can see I've got some things back up here. If you've seen any of my footage from XPS, which you probably haven't at this point, it's gotten a little better over here. But as you went along the trail, you would find the occasional eyewitness like Shecky the sheep here. And if you open this up, you would find the witness statement from him. So he's, all right, so I'm just standing here minding my own business when I see this huffing brute come rushing down the road. Now me, I know how to deal with these guys. You keep your head down, you eat your grass, ain't nobody getting hurt, right? All I know is whoever that was, they was in a hurry, and I wasn't about to get in their way. So, little eyewitness reports, you know, along the way here, and kind of junked up. The real problem was I junked up my inventory pretty badly going along here, and it's not lit up either, too. Nice thing about having more overlays back with this version and not using a snapshot and everything is I was able to beef up the line thickness a little bit so it looks better on my 4K displays, whereas on XPS I haven't made that setting change yet, and it looks like crud because the lines just keep disappearing. Looks like someone was having some problems coming out this way. That's okay. This is the connection to the main road coming out of the water district. So, or at least the road such as it is. And basically just keep following the blood trail. So the idea is that the killer has been wounded enough. You're following a blood trail, which is great, and you're finding all the witnesses that are out here along the way. Except I could have used some more witnesses. I was kind of running down when I got towards what's effectively the halfway mark. This is witness report number 2, and that is Oinky McGroinky. Yeah, don't ask. And I suspect he's probably going to be able to get loose because it looks like he's able to figure his way out of there now. So Oinky McGroinky had this to say. Yeah, I saw him. I was out late looking for some truffles when he went blowing through. And let me tell you, he's one of those guys in towns that you don't mess with. Been around for a while and he knows where the bodies are buried. Still, didn't get him that movie deal, though. That's all I'm saying, unless you get me a lawyer. And witness protection. So, Oinky McGroinky here is, yeah. He's seen some things, but he's definitely afraid of the killer, which is good. It's also kind of bad. I mean, what kind of, killer could possibly cause and strike this much terror in the land here? So we're continuing out. Heading along our lovely little footpath out this way. I should really start putting down some more torches in this area. So here's another witness. Eyewitness report number 3. And for some reason he is not named, which is kind of annoying. I named everyone, and apparently he's not for some reason. So you gotta be mine, or you gotta be kidding me. Occupation sheet. Yeah, I saw him. He shoved me to the ground. I heard a splash, but by the time I got back up, I couldn't see him. So, you gotta saw and thinks that you gotta knows what is out there, but nope. No idea. So we're still following kind of the blood trail. There's some still some spatters going on around here and there. Best use of all of the redstone I've got ever. And we get out to the main road. If you head back this way, you're going towards spawn. If you head towards that way, you are going towards other places. And just to have this lit up a little better, because it is a base entrance to a really ridiculous extent. You can see the blood trail heads over here. Now, unfortunately, it kind of goes cold here. So you've kind of hit trail's end. So the blood trail ends here at the river edge. Apparently the perp jumped in the water to try to shake off the trail, but they would have still likely headed to a place they thought was safe. Now that's a hint, because if a murder happens on a movie studio lot, it's probably being done by someone on the movie studio lot. And you can see that there's no blood trail within sight. Well, that means you don't need to go across the river, so, you know, you might go hunting or, you know, out here a little bit. And you get over this way, and here's a Squiddly D here, or Squiddly D. And Squiddly is here to tell you that, glub glub, nope, I can't say I've heard or seen anything unusual out here. So, yep, dead end. So, this is your hint kind of to, I didn't want you to go wandering off too far, but the hint to kind of go back in this direction. So you're going out this way. Well, there's no real area for that you can see any blood stains out here, and the blood's really kind of your clue. Oh, wait a minute, there's a chest over here, and oh, I see a blood stain. I see a lot of blood. So hey, good news. The lab report just came in. Good news, Gumshoe, you're on the right track. The blood trail matches the other unknown blood we found at the crime scene. Bad news is, this is a pretty seedy part of town. Most people around these parts keep to themselves, so it looks like we're not going to have much in the way of eyewitnesses coming forward. Better follow the blood trail and hope it doesn't dry up or wash out. So this is your kind of hint that there's not going to be any more of those little eyewitness scenes along the way, so you need to actually keep following the blood. And it looks like someone took a little bit of a creeper blast out here, because that was not the case when I was last out here. But again, you just kind of gotta keep an eye out, and I'll turn off my more overlay since I'm not doing any additional lighting at this point. But yeah, they're spaced out close enough that you hopefully wouldn't have had too much trouble kind of following the trail. And what we're doing is we're kind of, again, we're going on that little bit of a trip. Some of it is a little bit mildly parkour-y when you kind of start getting out towards the certain elevation changes. But really it kind of takes you out in weird directions. And then on my way of actually making the little trip here, I ran across this temple, which I don't remember even being here, honestly. So I said, oh, I'll kind of work that into everything. So maybe they hold up in here. Okay, looks like it. This has long been since raided. In fact, I don't even know if that's supposed to be someone's, like a seed base, but nothing ever appeared to come of it. I didn't see anyone over here in the time, and it's certainly not being developed actively, so I just kind of worked it into the path. So we've gone through here. Whoever the perp is, they didn't feel comfortable holing up in a desert hideout that seemed pretty suitable for that sort of thing. Interesting, you might say. So anyways, coming along here, watch your step because there's a lovely cliff edge there. Right into a nice ravine. It's a little easier to follow this on Journey Map because redstone for some reason shows up as white dots. But the blood trail kind of goes along there. Oh, there's some more of it, and there's some more. Boy, something was able to climb up 2 tall hexes. They're pretty... 2 tall hexes? I've been playing too much Battletech. 2 tall blocks there pretty darn easily. Up onto the mountain. Oh, there's the blood going over in this general direction. Kind of zigzagging around a little bit. And we're coming out on the other side of the mountain. And those of you who are have a good sense of direction may kind of notice that we have turned around 180 degrees, as you might expect if the perp is from the movie studio lot. So still going, and this is where I really do apologize that it did kind of... The storyline does fall flat here, you know, to be perfectly honest. It's... At this point, I was focusing more on trying to get everything built up and done, because I had enough kind of tension riding on top of all of this. So we come over this way, down through here, up over into this area, and again, you have to kind of watch your step over here because terrain is not exactly favorable to going around. And you'll note now it's getting dark out, which makes it even more fun and terrifying. And that was again intentional. So you come up here and uh-oh. So I've got my little narration piece here. So the studio is the last thing you expected to see coming up over the hill, but the blood trail definitely leads back to the area. Blood trail also indicates the perp may be in bad shape now and is probably holed up somewhere. Studio exec Sven Ohon promised full cooperation. That would be a Feral 1701. Promised full cooperation in the investigation. Hopefully that offer still counts. Now the perp could be at the studio. Investigate the movie studio. Find the perp. So he is somewhere on the studio lot. And this is where things got a little tricky for me because I had to try to keep the blood trail going in such a way that you could, you had no idea that the trail was really over here as you're going past that area or just kind of casually meandering about the area. So, ooh. Yeah, let's not do that. Go that way. Let's grab Mr. Rocket. Now, it goes down to here, so the only obvious place for him to have gone would have been over in that general direction. So let's just kind of pop up and take a look here. You can see I'm not seeing any blood trail up in the, up in this general area just yet. But wait, yep, there's a blood trail. That blood trail definitely manages to get up over the mountains, over the wall. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? We have a cave, and... Did he get killed? This is interesting. Okay. Who killed Lucky's killer? There was... Oh, there he is. There he is. He's tucked way back in the cave there. We can reveal at last who the identity of the killer is. This is Nick's Dragon. His profession is washed-up has-been actor. Nick was once a big name at the studio, taking on lead roles in such movies such as Baby Bear Brunch and Goodbye Polar Bear Blues. However, he has a reputation for being quite temperamental, an attitude that has only gotten worse as his fame declined while his age increased. After being turned down for the lead in the movie that would become Get Lucky, Nick took it very personally, threatening to get revenge on the no-talent hack that had stolen my part. The blood trail ends here, and though Nick tries to act past his pain, he can't cover up the blood or his lack of solid alibi. After intense interrogation, he finally breaks down and confesses that he had gone to the studio set to talk to Lucky and demand he step down from the role. Lucky offered him what Nick considers a bit part instead, which sent him into a rage. Not thinking, he grabbed a ceremonial bowl and smashed it across the trout's face. Blinded and in excruciating pain, the trout lashed out with a martial arts movie he learned while filming Fish Silent Swim Deep, causing a compound fracture of one of Nick's arms. He collapsed shortly thereafter while Nick fled in terror. Slowed by his wounds, though, he had no choice but to try to return home to try to heal up, managing to sneak in over the wall. He's been laying low the last few days claiming sickness. He pleads that he has no intention of killing Lucky and just wanted to end his career with one last great show. Frightened, injured, he fled rather than calling for help. Well, it seems like Nick's got his time in the spotlight of a life sentence. And that's the end of that chapter. So, yep, that is the extent of the Get Lucky saga, so to speak. That is Nick's Dragon in there. That is actually, he's a, not a natural polar bear. He is actually, he's one of my 2 polar bear spawn eggs that I got from one of the build competitions. So, yep, he is nice and high and, you know, chilling in the cooler, you could say. Oh, so many bad puns. Alright, so that's the extent of, like I said, that's the end of that chapter for Get Lucky. And, actually, the funny thing is there was kind of... I wasn't joking about that ceremonial bowl, because that was one of the clues I actually did leave down here. Let's see if we can kind of pop back into the set here. And if you look around, because I showed everyone this kind of view in the Get Lucky saga, you saw this view of the crime scene. Well, we've got over here the evidence, the ritual stone dagger. We've got a blood pool, DNA match to the victim, unknown blood sample. We've got the lab report here, which was basically confirmed match to the victim on the blood sample. Blood sample was not from the victim. The prop department confirmed the studio is a rubber knife. The prop department at the studio, the prop department confirmed the knife is a rubber knife. The mix on it is blood from both sources, so basically the knife just happened to fall into the scuffle, essentially. So, but that said, there was also this little guy sitting here. The sacrificial bowl on the mantle. Right in front of everyone's noses. I mean, let's face it, if there was a murder on a movie studio lot and there was something that was designed to look bloody that could potentially be overlooked for possible evidence, I'd say a sacrificial bowl would probably be it.